Reaction content. People love it. People hate it. If you're on the internet, you have an opinion about it. Let's be real. Sometimes you got 14 pages on it, and you make some very inappropriate, hyperbolic comments on the situation. However, something that I personally do, and it's kind of a pet peeve when I see other people not do this, is just citing your sources. So, for instance, we had a wonderful video made by Administrative Results, the cost of attacking Wendigoon, which went over the entire situation, went over the, in Praise of Shadow situation, just out of left field attack against a bunch of creators, including Wendigoon. And absolutely, the way that I format my videos is that in parentheses, you will see the title. If it is not possible to fit the full title, or if there's information that I feel can be omitted, such as if this was Cost of Attacking Wendigoon featuring, I don't know, Brandon Herrera, right? And it exceeds character limit, I'll cut down, I'll truncate the title to in a way that makes sure it makes sense, as well as the Kip reacts to whatever channel I'm reacting to. In the description down below, if the title is especially different, I make sure to link the original channel. The original channel link, the original video title, so say if this was the Cost of Wendigoon featuring Brandon Herrera, it would in this say featuring Brandon Herrera, as well as the original video link, and I do this all for everyone's convenience, right? The way that I view React content is you need to be polite, you need to be respectful. You might not necessarily agree with everything in the video, you might not even agree with the person, depending on what you're doing. I know that there's a lot of React content creators that will just do the biggest, newest thing. They'll make a commentary piece on it, and then they'll move on. And in a way, React content can be seen as incredibly disposable, right? In this video, Administrative Results put the time and the effort and put into the workflow, probably sent out to editors, right? It's time and money to make a video like this. It's very easy for me in comparison to make a 29-minute reaction to the base 1305 video, right? I think we can all at least objectively agree, React content, even if you're adding some sort of commentary, is, for all intents and purposes, easier. It's easier to pipeline out. It's easier to have a workflow for, and you're just really being reactive instead of being proactive. So the reason I bring this up, though, and why I cite it consistently, is that there's a lot of React channels that don't. And this is not going to be me grandstanding. This is not going to be saying, well, I'm better than them because I do this. I think as a whole, regardless of what your opinion on React content is, we need to really kind of come together and come to a consensus of, is it fair to use someone else's work and not cite it, right? Is that necessarily fair to the original creator? I know that there's been a number of channels that I've reacted to, a number of channels that I've seen reacting to things too, right? And they'll, oh, this is the video, right? And I try to look up the video, and it's just not there. So I go to the description section. I go look, and it's unfortunately not there. And at that point, it just depends. Do I even want to find this to react to? And a lot of the times, the answer is no. The way that I view it, if I were to make a video, say about the cost of Wendigoon, or on the Wendigoon and In Praise of Shadows incident, or if I was to make a video on the Pepsi Navy incident, or if I was going to make a video about the U.S. military and the 277 Fury round, right, and the Sig Spear, right? If I were to make videos on that, realistically, since a lot of it isn't necessarily not public knowledge, but widely, accepted, right? You can say the sky is blue. Do you need a citation for that? You can say grass is generally green. Do you need a citation for that? No, right? That's kind of common knowledge, right? But if I were to say something about the U.S. military is moving over to the 277 Fury round, okay, where did you find this information? Or if I was to make a bold claim, as In Praise of Shadows did about creators being something, being X, whatever that X may be, that variable, and they don't bring receipts, you can see how, from a standpoint of the viewer or someone coming into the situation, you think this dude's talking just mad shit for all intents and purposes, right? And that harkens back to high school, college papers, right? If you're doing a paper on, insert X here, like I did my senior project on the Postal Service and has materials through the Postal Service, right? Interesting topic, right? But I'm having to cite sources from USPS, UPS. I'm having to cite federal web pages, stuff like that, right? Like I'm having to bring citations into the works cited page, the bibliography, making sure that, hey, if you need to check this, it is there for you. And I think that I brought that into my work because it just makes sense. When you think about retention, when you think about videos, right? And I've had this discussion with my dad when he watches videos and he just clicks them off. And I'm like, he has 30 seconds. Or maybe he didn't have a strong opening, right? It didn't have a strong opening, kind of petered off. You know, you have that 30-second window to really capture someone's attention. Maybe their attention span's shorter. You have to kind of think about it from the average person's perspective. And when you think about how you bring that into perspective of people wanting to support the original material, right? Because there's people that have absolutely found creators like Fat Electrician through me. There's creators that have found Badger through me. There are people that have found Shoe on Head through me, right? Rubik's Raptor. And that's not me saying that I'm inherently tied to their success. I'm not. I'm just a dingus on the internet that hits different algorithmic parts than they do. Therefore, bringing attention, hey, this creator's cool. You should go check them out, right? And that's why I say, hey, for your convenience, it is linked down in the description. It makes it as easy as possible. How many people, realistically, and it's fine if you answer that, yeah, you don't even think about checking the description, right? How many people do you know or have you seen that as soon as that instant gratification's gone, they don't want to talk about it anymore, or they don't want to deal with it anymore? Or if, say, for example, you're a person that goes, yeah, no, this Costa Wendigoon video, really good by administrative results, right? But you don't make it easy enough for your average person to really go to that channel, right? That becomes a problem, in my opinion. And then it's also come down to like, well, this person has started citing them, but only because they called them out in a video. If that is true, I think that's incredibly subjective. I don't necessarily agree with that. Look, I'm using someone else's work. We can argue the transformative nature of the work, absolutely, and I make it very clear. If somebody comes out and is like, hey, Kip, I don't want you reacting to this, I don't feel you're being transformative enough, or in the event where I emailed someone like CoffeeZilla saying, hey, could I do reactions to your content? If you don't use the whole clip, but the whole thing, but if you do use the whole thing, I would prefer you to not, because it counts as a market replacement, which is true. It does count as a market replacement. In fact, YouTube has certain favoritisms of that. That's why React content can absolutely be a problem in certain aspects, because of it being being that market replacement for the original video, and thus ads being prioritized to that video. So things to think about, like that's actually valid. And at the end of the day, it also comes down to talking to the creators, right? Love Terminal Montage, love them, love Kyle Hill, right? However, they have said that they're not okay with React content, or at least not okay with React content in certain regards. I know I've Googled it on stream, or not Googled, I've YouTubed it on stream. Terminal Montage does have reactions to their content, but there's no way for me to verify that they asked permission first, or that Terminal Montage or Kyle Hill, right, has given these people permission and exclusive permission to react to their content. So things to consider with React content. I think that a bare basic win that React content creators can do is to just simply cite their sources. They don't have to go in depth like I do. Certain videos I'll have, original channel, secondary channel, like tertiary channel, right? They don't necessarily go that hard. However, I think that for a, more professional, more respectful environment, I think that that's fair. I think we can at least agree with that. Maybe even subjectively, right? Maybe not objectively, but just something to think about. It's something that I've noticed a lot of channels lack doing, and hearing that some React channels may do that, but only subjectively, only if they get called out, or shouted out. I disagree with the practice as a whole, but then again, I'm only at 40,000 where these people are at 200,000, a million plus, right? So let me know what you think. Let me know if you think I've brought a strong argument to the table. Let me know if you think that that's just citing the original work is too much work for the reactor. At this point, I think opening it up to a discussion, opening up that discourse, is going to be really helpful for a lot of people that are trying to do React content or get into React content, right? Just having that conversation, and I just want to make sure that the original creators are getting what they need, right? That they are getting what I feel they're owed, that they put out a good work, people react to their work, and sure, if monetarily it goes to React content creators, at least we're forwarding that to as many people as possible to say, hey, go check this person out. But I digress. Thank you for watching.